By now you've probably seen our bike shop prank video where we walked into Squatch Bikes with this fine specimen here and a bag full of completely ridiculous parts.
Can you install this shifter?
Now we edited that video down and there's a lot missing about the process and just what happened that day. So today we're gonna give you a behind the scenes look at the bike shop prank. Welcome back to Berm Peak. I'm Seth and today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different, but kind of the same. So let's start with the bike. As I did say in the video, we got this bike for $60. It was actually the people at Wheels Manufacturing that found this bike, and we chose it because it's really old, it's outdated, and none of these parts would fit on it. And that was the whole point. We wanted to go into a bike shop and have the mechanic legitimately confused, and then find out that they actually have all the parts to get it done.
It's totally gonna fit.
So when I kind of thought of this idea, I sent out an email to my friends at Wheels Manufacturing and I said, hey, I'm looking for the parts to do this. I know they don't really exist, but do you have a way? So to my surprise, they came back and they were like, this sounds hilarious. We really want to help you do it. We'll get the bike, we'll make all the parts, and then you'll execute the prank and send the bike back to us. They're actually gonna take this bike to trade shows, put it on display. It kind of showcases what they do best, which is create problem solver items like little bearing presses that only work in a certain size of frame or derailleur hangers. They are the guys that do that, and so Wheels was all over it. Now the parts we put on the bike consist of a SRAM GX wireless derailleur. It's called SRAM Axis. And these are really sought after and really expensive. The main benefit you get with SRAM Axis is really precise shifting and no cables. This is still excessive to people that have high-end bikes. And so to spend $60 on a bike and then like another $700 on drivetrain parts, terrible use of funds. Now, as I said, these parts wouldn't even fit on this bike. You would be able to screw in the derailleur, but it's made for a 12-speed SRAM cassette. And so we had to have a custom wheel built with what's called an XD hub. This is a fairly new development in mountain biking as compared to this bike. Now, some of you are going to point out that maybe we could have used a Shimano 12-speed cassette and made it a little easier, but that wasn't the point. The point wasn't to make it easy. The point was to make it ridiculous, and we used a SRAM Eagle cassette. Now, another reason we chose these parts to put on the bike is because they're so sought after and cutting edge. I mean, they were just jumbled up in a shopping bag. We knew that when the mechanic looked in the shopping bag, he was gonna say, this is freaking SRAM AXS Eagle. And he's just gonna blow a circuit basically at that point.
I see what you're intending to do here.
And just to add another little layer of humor, we use the highest end chain that they have, which is like $95.
It's got a $90 chain on a $90 bicycle. All right, man, whatever, dude.
Now also, he walked in with a bike with nuts that hold on the wheels, and it goes all the way through the bike and threads in. Impossible to put a through axle on this bike, and so Wheels Manufacturing invented an adapter that nobody would ever use. It's basically a big fat axle that fits inside the through axle hub and then gives you little threads on the end to screw nuts onto. Now what's hilarious about that is that the kickstand on this bike actually fit onto the threads, and so when Pat was doing the installation, he realized that the kickstand wouldn't fit back on.
Kickstand is going away, that's for sure.
Oh, but I want the kickstand.
So they had to break the news to the customer that the kickstand wouldn't fit.
We had to remove the kickstand though.
Oh man, we can talk about that when I get there.
Sounds good, man. We'll see you in a bit.
Alrighty.
You gotta raise a big stink about the kickstand. I really need a kickstand.
I really love that kickstand.
Yeah!
Any bike is already equipped kind of with a kickstand. If you lean the back wheel up against anything, it just won't fall over. Kickstand
Man, I'm gonna miss that though. I'm gonna miss it.
You don't want that on there.
So another cool thing that we did for the first time here was actually hire an actor for the video. Now, I found Christian through Brevard College, and I needed somebody who was good at improv.
It's an interesting upgrade.
Well, it's my brother's old bike. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, sure, we can do it.
If you've worked in any service industry, you've had that kind of weird, insane customer who's likable, not rude, but they have completely insane requests. And I don't think we could have chosen somebody better. Now, I knew that Christian didn't know anything about bikes, and that was perfect. And what's this part?
Gears? Spokes?
Fine. And what's this part?
Oh, I don't know.
What would you call it?
More gears and spokes?
That'll work. Because only somebody who doesn't know anything about bikes would come into a shop with this request. And so we were really surprised when Pat took the bait, just like no resistance whatsoever. Pat was pretty much like, okay, yeah, let me book this customer. He's got the most ridiculous request I've ever seen in my entire career. I'll just put this bike over here, see you later.
I'll see if I can fit that wheel in there physically today, and if I can, I'll make it work. Take care.
Thanks.
We were hoping for him to put up a little bit more resistance, but he's just that professional and he's seen a lot of stuff. And so as he went through the installation and started giving us phone calls and we went to pick up the bike, we started getting riskier and riskier.
One thing though, could you rethread these onto the back one and
What are we
then
talking
the
about?
back one, these? Could you rethread the spokes?
What's the point?
I just want them back there, you know? Switch them out.
They're the same spokes.
Yeah. It would look better, in my
They're
opinion.
both silver. Yeah, to unbuild this wheel and then put it on the back, that's a no-go. Plus, that's a 36-hole rim and that's 32, so that definitely won't fly.
And Pat knew immediately when he saw me that he had been bamboozled.
I knew.
Now, the other thing about Christian is that he's a rock climber. So Pat wouldn't think anything of Christian walking into the shop with a backpack on, with a GoPro mounted right here. That's how we were able to get that first-person footage as Christian went into the shop. And it looked like it was off. We shut off the front screen, we shut off the LEDs, so that it would just look like he was a guy in Brevard about to do something outdoorsy. And sure enough, Pat said he didn't think anything of it.
We have like 3 or 4 customers that are just about like your age looking to just walk in with GoPros on their heads. So
Yep,
it's not
that's
that
what we
weird.
accustomed
It's
for.
Brevard.
Now, while Christian was in the shop, he was on a phone call with me. So his phone was in his pocket and my phone was muted and I could hear everything that was going on. And that's how we had our kind of control room footage in the car. He's killing it. Now, the cameras in the shop, we placed there early in the morning before Pat came in. Super bright light over here. So you put this here and you're looking at the light. Hopefully nobody's gonna see it. That's our thoughts. James is into photography. All we have to do is just sit a GoPro on the bench and it's a totally normal thing. It's just out there. James, the owner of Squatch, was totally in on the whole thing.
And I don't have to do anything.
James kept this all a secret for about 2 months while we were casting an actor and having the bike prepared and all that. Now, every camera we used in the shop for this prank was a GoPro Hero 10 Black. The reason we chose those cameras is they have a scheduled recording feature. We knew exactly when we were gonna send Christian into the shop, so 1 minute before he walked in the door, all the cameras woke up automatically and started recording. That's a really, really cool feature that newer GoPros have. So those really made it possible for us to execute a hidden camera prank. Now, of course, you know how this ends. Pat installs everything on the bike and it works perfectly.
Ah.
Now, I would love to take this bike for a rip around Berm Peak, but it is a little big for me. In order to drop the seat low enough, I'd have to basically crash it into the suspension. So let's see if I have a seat post that's short enough for this. Might fit. Okay, now we've got all the travel we need. I'm actually excited to see how this bike performs over some real bumps because it probably wasn't the worst suspension fork for its time. Rear suspension was notoriously like not that good back in those days, but yeah, we might be surprised. Oh man, the geometry is so outdated. The bars are super narrow and this bike is too big for me. But it's practically in perfect condition, and with the addition of this drivetrain, it's really quiet and smooth. It's like remarkably smooth. This thing was as quiet as a modern bike. Now, this was not a department store bike when it was new. This is a real bike, but it certainly wasn't high end, not even for its time. And I still don't think this was a smart upgrade. For the same money, you could get a much better bike that's more capable and you could do more on. But this is a really nice running, mechanically sound bike. So that prank video was really fun for us to do. We tried to prepare for everything, but we had never done anything like that and didn't know what to expect. If we do a prank again, we're gonna be a little better prepared for it, but I had a lot of fun doing that video. We learned a lot. I hope you did, and if not, I hope you were at least entertained, and I hope this video answers some of the questions you might have had about that prank video, or gives you an interesting look behind the scenes. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time. Did you know about this?
I don't know anything.
You want to see where all the cameras are?
I saw GoPros all over.
Are you sure? So there's one up there. There's one to the right of that sign.
Thanks a lot, you guys.
Just in early at work today, huh?
There's more.
I know. Okay, all right. Let me see if I can find the rest of them. Yeah. I saw this one here. I thought I was going to mention something about it, but I didn't.
You will never find the other one. Because you got to stare straight into a light to see it.
Which is it right over my stand?
It's right there.
I don't know how you could have kept straight face through any of that.
It was so hard to not say anything.
I can't believe you. I didn't have any idea. I can't believe.
This
Now I'm
camera,
even more happy that I got it to work.
I was just recording. I wasn't taking pictures.
That's so good. I knew that you would pretty much know by looking at that pile of parts, like, this looks like it might be possible.
And someone, like, you bring me a liquor store bag with Axis in it. It's like, okay, someone's already monkeyed around with this and tried. So,
Well, yeah, and that's what we made it look like.
are you already a bike rider? You played the part perfectly of just a normal weirdo bike shop customer.
Dude, look at this bike. It actually looks pretty freaking cool back there.
Can I have a beer?